It's now time for What's Up Asheville, sponsored by the City of Asheville, with the host, Mr. Sam Parada, and here he is.
Hello Asheville, how are you today? Welcome to What's Up Asheville here on WRES 100.7 FM. I'm your host Sam Parada, communication specialist for the City of Asheville, and today we have two guests. Kiera Bulan, she has been in the show before. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Sam.
Good. And we have a new guest, Aurora Wynne, also with both of you work for the
Sustainability Department.
Sustainability. That word, every time. I always think of it and I always forget how to say it. Sustainability, which is so important. How are you, Aurora?
I'm very good. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, tell us a little bit about your position and what it is that you do, I guess, on a day-to-day basis. Just a quick recap. Yes, Kiera.
Sure, great. Well, I'm so glad to be here again. It's always nice to share some airspace with you, Sam, and our listeners. I'm Kiera Bulan. I'm the Sustainability Manager at the City of Asheville. And in our Sustainability Department, we tackle all kinds of issues from climate to waste reduction, energy use, and weatherization, and trying to make both our city operations and our general community a more cleaner, greener, sustainable place to live.
So Kiera has been on the show before talking about composting. That's a lot of fun. Are you still doing that as a department?
Yeah, absolutely. We collaborate with our sanitation division and public works and with the county to offer our food scraps drop-off program. There's 6 locations within the city where folks can just bring their food scraps and turn them into black gold.
Great. And Aurora, what do you do?
So I'm new with the department, and I'm not a full-time employee. I'm actually an AmeriCorps fellow with the North Carolina Climate Corps. So we're kind of like any other AmeriCorps or Peace Corps type position, but we're very focused on climate change. And so I'm with the city for the next few months. It's a 1-year position going through the end of September, and I'm just here to add a little extra rocket fuel in the in the sustainability rocket and try to help us get a little further this year.
Great. I mean, I just met you not that long ago, and I can tell that you can already make an impact in the department and the city.
Thank you.
So we're here today to talk about a new initiative, something that's been talked about a lot in the city for the past, I guess, year or so, and it's taking a different shape this time, which is Less Plastics in Asheville. And the proper title is Less Plastic Asheville. Yeah. So I'm looking at Kiera, it's like, I'm getting my
That's our
words
current
all wrong
campaign.
today.
That's right. Yep.
So, this, I just want to start with a kind of the legal side of things. The city cannot make an ordinance to ban plastics or any kind of plastics overall, correct?
Correct. Yep, exactly right. And that was one of the actions that we were considering and doing research and working with our community members and business owners to understand what those impacts might be. But last fall, the state of North Carolina passed an ordinance in their budget that prohibited local bans. So we're pivoting our action to continue to support residents and business owners in less plastic use.
So this is not really an ordinance, it's more of a, let's work together to accomplish different things that will benefit the community and people at a personal level as well.
Right. There's many ways to make a difference, and heading off plastics at their source is one way to do that, but so is individual power and community power and kind of grassroots movement, and that's the direction we're headed in.
And we'll get to the community portion of this project in a bit, but I just wanted to ask, why is it important to reduce plastic use overall?
Do you want me to take that? So, plastic has a lot of negative impacts. It impacts both humans and the environment. In Asheville, we can recycle some plastics, right? We have waste streams for some plastics, but also there's lots of plastics that just aren't recyclable because of, limitations of infrastructure. 15 or 14.8% of our Asheville municipal waste stream is non-recyclable plastic, and those plastics have environmental impacts that look like really intense greenhouse gases. Plastics, when they do break down over the course of 1,000 years in the landfill, turn into methane, which is 28 times more damaging of a greenhouse gas than regular carbon dioxide. And so there's that impact. There's also like the daily impacts that they have on humans. So they can clog storm drains, which contributes to flooding in our neighborhoods, or they end up in our water systems and add more microplastics to the water.
Microplastics, I was going to say that's the new.
Yeah, it's a pretty not fully understood thing. It's a hard thing to research in people, but we do know that it has health impacts.
Yeah.
And so, keeping those, trying to minimize the amount of that exposure to residents and humans as well as to wildlife that, are also a part of our community,
right.
Is all very worthwhile.
Yeah, I would love to one day go to the French Broad and, swim in the water without fearing what might be in it. So thank you for that overall overarching, I guess, description of how plastics affect us, not just personal level, but the environment as well. So what are some steps, some basic steps before we jump into the actual project that you can take just get started? Or some underlying piece of information that you should know about plastic?
I think generally, like we said, it doesn't really decompose, and so it's hard to imagine, that pretty much every plastic bag or plastic straw that you have ever received still exists, and in fact, they've only really existed for about 100 years, and that in that time, the amount that we have created is really tremendous. And so I think they're just creating an awareness around like any amount that we can reduce is of benefit, right? Anytime we can say no to a plastic that we don't need or that isn't super necessary is doing the work. And a lot of this campaign is around trying to hand people ideas and resources and tools that can lead them to starting to make some of those shifts for themselves, just to like reduce. We can't aim for perfection, but we can do something.
Yeah. And since we can't really make a big change as a local entity, we can really make a big change at a federal level to stop all plastic consumption and creation. I want to make it very clear that we're not blaming anyone for using a straw.
That's right.
We're not blaming the public, because at the end of the day, I feel like residents have very low impact overall when it comes to plastic consumption. But there's a lot that you can do to just improve yourself. And, we moved to North Carolina, or we live here because we love the trees and the forest and the animals. So let's keep it green. Let's keep it happy. Anything you want to add to that, Kiera?
One of the things that I think about a lot is it's just become so normalized that it's an opportunity for kind of a personal shift that we hope will continue to be a culture shift across our cultures here locally, regionally, because it's so easy, it's so convenient. And so that takes personal action and decision making, sometimes some preparation, and that's some of the work of the campaign, to be able to not sacrifice convenience and to not have it cost more. In fact, opportunities for it to actually reduce costs in your life as an individual or as a business. But that means that we have to take collective action, right? We can't just replace with a different disposable product and expect for it to be cheaper or easier. We have to really sort of think about how can we position ourselves as individuals, and how does that matter when we magnify it across our family, our neighborhood, our community, and not wanting to make things harder or more expensive, but really thinking about ways we can support each other in making those changes.
I like how you said that, because I know that part of the campaign, the city is stepping forward to add a little bit of convenience in some aspects, such as the bags, for example. We'll get to that. If you want something free from the city. So, we're taking that step with you, at least to get started. And, this is not you have to do everything, but do as much as you can. And this kind of campaign and project really makes me appreciate the long-term, projects that the city has put forward, because this is not going to solve plastics today. But hopefully, you'll give less plastic to your children, and they'll be healthier, and then they'll grow that sense of community and environment, and they'll start using less plastics themselves. So maybe in a few decades we can see a bigger impact. But it'll start here. It's got to start somewhere. So let's jump into the campaign. Do you want to tell me about it?
I do. I want Aurora to tell you about it.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Aurora.
I would love to. So Less Plastic Asheville is a new voluntary initiative that really has two parts, and it's all really aimed at inspiring residents to, to reduce the plastic in their own lives. There's two parts to it. One is called the Pass On Plastic Pledge, which is really short. It's actually it takes you 1 minute to fill it out. It's like a survey, but it's really just a list of plastic reducing ideas. Things like, I'm going to choose to not carry plastic bags or not take plastic bags. I'm going to bring my own bag or only buy what I can carry, or, bringing your own utensils or your own straw, something of that nature.
Yeah, don't use the straws at the restaurant.
Yeah, just and we ask that people who take the pledge find at least two things that they think they can try. And we're not enforcing this pledge, right? We're not gonna call you and be like, I heard you use
I see you, Sam.
I heard you.
I have my water. I love my water bottle. So I'm drinking from a plastic one. Convenience again.
Right.
We all love to drink. You have to drink water. I told myself I'm gonna drink this much water a day because I need to, and this is how I have to do it today.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Kiera.
You don't have to be sorry for me, and it's partially we'll get back to the pledge for a second, but one more sort of sideline is that that's part of the culture and infrastructure shift, right? Is if we want to be able to bring our own water bottles everywhere, then we need public water filling stations, and those are popping up more and more often. You see them in the airport now. You often see them in public facilities, schools, libraries, and so we're seeing that happen. But just like you said, Sam, this is action over time. I think about how there didn't used to be any curbside recycling, and now there is, and our children recycle sort of normally, right? That's kind of that's a part of life that was not even true when I was younger. And so we think about the investment of idea shift over time, and that's true because it has to be a nexus of convenience and opportunity. And we're trying to raise awareness, and we're also, raising the opportunity for us collectively, us the city, but also, this is a partnership between individuals, business, city, other public entities to build up that infrastructure to not sacrifice the convenience by making the right choice for our environment and our plastic use.
So we're not going to call the FBI on you
not
you
right,
take a straw at the restaurant.
Certainly not. And there's no shame or element of it. In fact, I think that a lot of one of the things I really like about this whole campaign is how it's about providing ideas and resources that are not attached to this message of plastic is bad and you're bad if you use it.
You're not bad if you use plastic.
Yeah, you're not bad if you use plastic. In fact, I think we would be really hard pressed to find people who have absolutely no plastic in their life. And I think that the pledge is a great way for people who are already trying to reduce their plastic to commit to the things they're already doing, and an invitation for folks who maybe aren't doing any of those things yet but are thinking about it, or would like to do something that helps them feel like they're contributing to that environmental cause or to the local cause that's behind it. There's little easy things that we can do that do make an impact. So that's kind of the idea behind the pledge, and it's really easy to find it. You can find it on our Instagram bio, or you can find it under the Less Plastic Asheville project page on the city's website. And then the other half of the campaign is called Less Plastic Bingo, which is, kind of a fun way to actually spread the message and spread the possible engagement in the campaign. It is a social media challenge where there's, each little square on the bingo card is a positive, easy way that you could spread the word to others about ways they could reduce plastic. And it's specifically, avoiding that kind of judgmental tone instead of, making plastics bad. It's hey, show where you hang your reusable bags so that you remember them. Or, hey, show yourself using a compostable straw where you're using it. And that those kind of things just kind of spread the word and maybe help get that message out to folks who might not have heard it in a way that is inspiring rather than intimidating.
Yeah, and also, making that shift, I don't actively, until now, find ways to not use as much plastic. I try to on a day-to-day, I don't ask for oh my God,
straw?
I cannot speak today. Straw, yeah, straw is the easiest word. I don't ask for straws at restaurants. I have my own water bottle when I remember it. We don't have reusable bags for shopping, but I love a good metal straw. And those are the things that you didn't know that you needed in your life, and the metal straw is definitely my favorite one that I do use. So you'll find more about yourself and how convenient it can actually be to not rely on plastic that often. It's like red Solo cups, I haven't used those since college for a variety of reasons, but just having that glass that I can clean and then put away is so much better.
It's nicer.
So yeah, it takes a little bit of both. But we've talked about the bags. Tell me more about that.
People can participate in both sides of that. They can take the pledge, they can play bingo, they can do both or neither, but everyone who participates on either side will win prizes for participating. So in the case of the pledge, the associated prize is a City of Asheville tote bag and a Less Plastic Asheville bumper sticker, which I'm a big fan of. I like them a lot. And then on the bingo side of things, we have, it takes a little bit more energy to do the bingo. You have to take pictures of yourself and post it on social media. So there's I don't know about better, but different prizes for the bingo game that I think are meant to be a little bit more incentivizing. And there's a bento box that's like a reusable lunchbox, and the lid clasps on.
I love
and
that.
then it has reusable utensils that are included with it, so that you don't need to get plastic utensils or single-use plastic utensils from a place that you go. There's also a few limited to-go travel coffee mugs that the sanitation department sent us, and so we have a few of these really nice prizes for people who choose to participate in the bingo side of things. And I'm around town twice a week having tabling events at different locations around town to hand out those prizes, as well as to offer resources, talk to people about the issue, answer questions, and so people can come collect their prizes. We try to make sure we reach every area of town, and that we're hitting different groups of people and reaching a diverse audience with those tables. And so you gotta catch me, but we list all of those events on the city's project page, and it's getting updated all the time.
And I was going to ask if I cannot make it to one of those events, can I still collect my prizes anywhere?
Right now, we don't really have means for people to collect the prizes other than meeting me at the table, but those events are so frequent and they move around so much that we're really hoping that makes it accessible to people that I don't have the capacity as one person to deliver prizes by hand to every person who participates. Believe me, I would love to be, but there's too many other good things to do in the world. So that is a limitation currently. Gotta come find me.
I understand.
But if you are a listener right now and you have a business or a place that would be a good tabling opportunity, we're totally open to that. And so there are opportunities to get in touch with the campaign through the project page. And if you are a place where you have people gathering and you think there's folks that might want to, get in touch with these resources, then give us a shout and we'll schedule a date. Yeah, for sure.
And, I'm sure I don't know, we can do a little bit more outreach outside of the project page, but that's going to be the main place where you can find information on not just this, but any City of Asheville project or initiative going on right now. And to find this particular project, you would go to asheville.nc.gov, and on the project tab on the top, you click on that, and then you scroll down until you find Less Plastic Asheville. And just click on that, and you'll have everything you need to know about plastic, I hope.
Yeah, absolutely.
As much as you can.
Totally. And Aurora's been making these really sweet videos, infographics, and so weekly on the city's social media, Facebook and Instagram, you'll see fresh media. So sometimes it's video, sometimes it's a still, and in those there's tips and tricks, and then also we'll redirect you back to the place where you can get those additional resources on the website.
And I was going to say, going back to the bags, the reusable bags, I like how the city, or especially sustainability, because when I talk about the city, I like how you guys are taking that step to make it more available, because oftentimes you have to buy these things from the grocery shop that you go to, and then you forget about them, which is a big thing. And again, we're not blaming you, because I forgot my water bottle today.
I know, I forget my bags all the time.
Yeah,
It happens.
It happens, but having that outlet is really helpful, and it's good that we're taking that approach to doing that. And I don't want to say that it is going to stop adding microplastics to your body, or that it is going to solve the problem immediately. But who knows?
Yeah, behavior change is powerful work. And, we're playing the long game in sustainability in all of our projects. And this is true for this one, too. It's just about, that perfect nexus between what can I do as an individual human? What can I inspire my neighbors to do? What can I do collaboratively with my neighbors? What do I need the city to do? What do I need to do in partnership with the city? What's the role of our business community? And everybody's got to play. Like if we're going to come in the long term, we're going to think about making this environment more resilient to storms, being better connected to our neighbors, having better waste streams where we're putting less stuff in the landfill and we're doing more composting, we're doing more recycling, we're creating less waste in the first place. Like that's a multifaceted cross-sector situation. Like nobody can do it alone. The city's not going to solve it on our own. I personally, Kiera Bulan, I'm not going to solve it on my own. But if we all come to the table and we think about the different levers that we have to pull, the different opportunities, the different places of influence, that's where we start to see significant change. And so I think that's the thing around plastic, around food projects, where you can come to the table with whatever your perspective is. If you want a cleaner water bottle that you're responsible for cleaning when you get home and you know that it's in good shape, or if you want to make sure that you pass less plastic bag flags in the trees when it's wintertime and depressing out there. Like all of that is stuff we can change,
it's
right?
True.
And so, it's just a matter of kind of coming to it from what pulls your heartstrings and, us collectively taking action across the places where we have influence and opportunity.
Yeah, what I like about all of that is that it's not this all has to happen. You don't have to do all of it, but what you can do, you just bring anything to the table and that helps.
Yeah, and it matters.
And it matters.
It really does, yeah.
And, at a more personal level, I feel like, having a cleaner kitchen, for example, like when you open wherever it is that you keep your plastic bags, I would like to bet that it's a mess, because mine is.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many plastic bags in there. I can never pull just one out, and they just keep growing and growing. And I feel like having a few just in case I run out of doggy bags for my dog, or whatever, for the bathroom,
trash bin,
yeah. So like I don't think I'm never not going to have them until those other pieces are solved better. But if I could reduce the amount by any amount, that's good. And then having that recyclable, reusable shopping bag, where I also limit myself on how much I buy at the store, because I could go out, and my partner hates that. But it's just little ways to help yourself. And I feel like a cleaner kitchen means also a cleaner house. And I feel like that helps me a lot with how I just like to go home to a clean space. So, you're hitting that domino and all of them keep falling in the right places. So I think it's a great initiative. Thanks. And you get prizes out of it.
Yeah, we're expecting you to sign up today, Sam.
I'm signing up tomorrow. I'm signing up tomorrow because this happening, what day is it today? The 13th of March. We're having, if you want to talk about tomorrow's events, which only applies for one day.
Yes.
Well, yeah, like the next time that you can come find us at a table is tomorrow.
March 14th.
That's right. We're going to be at Taqueria Munoz on Patton Avenue. They're a great place, and we're stoked to be there. They're going to let us come and speak to the community that comes there at lunchtime. It's a very bustling place at lunchtime, and we're going to hand out some prizes and talk to folks. And Sam is coming as a Spanish translator for me, so that we can reach the part of their clientele that only speaks Spanish. And I'm really grateful to have you coming with me, so that we can reach people where they're at. And yeah, thank you for coming with me.
So if you're listening to this after the 14th, which is tomorrow, this doesn't apply to you sadly, but there will be more opportunities. Mm-hmm. But tomorrow is going to be Taqueria Muñoz
from 11 to 1.
11 to 1.
Right.
And just, come have a taco. Mm-hmm. And come talk about plastics, and hopefully walk out with something that will help you reduce plastics in your life. And and meet us too. I love having the community come out and actually meet city employees, because we're people too.
That's right.
We're people too.
Yep.
And then you can learn, ask us questions, see what happens. We might not have all the answers, but hey, at least you can participate and say that you did it.
Yeah.
And show off your new bag.
Show off your new bag. Yeah, what does it look like?
Well, there's 2 bags,
mm-hmm.
actually. And so engaging with the campaign, chatting with Sam and Aurora, we have a blue bag that has a beautiful white insignia on it. If you take the step and you take the pledge, you sign up and think about a couple things that you can really implement in your life. Then we have a tan canvas bag with blue lettering on it.
I love a canvas bag.
It's a really nice bag. It's kind of next level. So, we're appreciating people's checking the couple boxes that they really feel like are behavior changes they can make. And so you get the swanky bag there.
And you don't have to use the bag for shopping only.
No.
That's the thing.
Oh, yeah.
I have a canvas bag from my dog's daycare place that I didn't even know I had, and now I use it to keep my rock climbing equipment.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
So use it for whatever you need. You have something that you can reuse and not throw away after a single use.
Yeah.
So
it's great.
Good.
And one of the videos actually that's coming up next Monday, right?
It comes out Monday, that's right.
Yeah, is a really sweet montage of different folks in our community who are helping us with some tips and tricks on how to remember their bags. And that's one of the biggest things is I have these bags. I mean, similar to your plastic bag closet. I got a closet full of reusable bags, but do they make it to the grocery store? And so we went out, and Aurora hit the streets and talked to several people about some little life hacks, trying to figure out how it is you can actually remember that reusable bag to make the most impact, and keep an eye on the city socials. I think that'll be out on Monday, and we can see other people talking the good talk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's not just us, people are actually participating.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, totally. It's good to get the voices of others and to hear those strategies and what people are doing in their homes. And a part of that video is also, if you forget your bags, is there still something you can do? Are there still are you bound to getting plastics in that moment? And it was cool because there's actually some resources or ideas there that are actually, you could choose paper instead, or you could roll your cart out to the car unbagged and then move them into your house with your bags when you get there.
I never thought about that.
Load up your children.
Yeah.
Bring your kids and make them carry everything in their arms. That was one of the very real answers.
Okay. I mean, it's valid.
Yep.
So sadly we're running out of time, but I wanted to finish the show by asking both of you, outside of the reusable bags, what are your top favorite tips that are in the bingo card, or just tips in general about using less plastic? Or you can go first, or actually whoever goes first.
Are you itching? I'll go after you.
I can go first.
Okay.
And I'm going to share a tip from my Auntie Anne, because she is
she the pretzel
the
woman?
Person. She's not, but oh my God, if she was. I do think of her every time I'm in the airport and I pass Auntie Annie's, but unfortunately we're not related. But my actual Auntie Anne is, she was the OG bring your own stuff person. And she's not necessarily the most eco-minded, sustainability human, but she just can't stand the feel of styrofoam. And so she has a bag of reusable Tupperwares in her car since forever. I mean, she's in her 70s, and since before I even knew what recycling was, Auntie Anne, I'm it's kind of embarrassing. She's always got her lunchbox of reusable. Anyway, she's always boxing up her to-goes in the restaurant, and I have started to try to do that. I'm inspired by her, and she just doesn't like the feel of styrofoam. So she's you know what? I'm bring my own container, and she does.
Yeah, she didn't even I don't want to say bad things about your Auntie Anne. But she did.
She's probably not listening, and now I won't tell her.
But she didn't take this step because of the environmental reason, but she took the step anyway, and we applaud her.
Exactly right.
Thank you, Auntie Anne.
Yeah.
Aurora?
You did kind of take my answer. I just started bringing my own to-go containers also. But, these things we're asking folks to do in the campaign, I have really felt the call to step up and make sure I'm doing all of them so that I'm not being a hypocrite. And the ones I really had to step into that I wasn't doing already was reusable utensils and a reusable straw. And so I admittedly did order them online because I really needed one with a carabiner. If I did not have a carabiner on my reusable utensils, I was going to lose it. See, Kiera has a great example. Mine are also on my keychain. But, bringing those with me everywhere I go so that there's been a couple of really great moments, not only where I haven't had to get plastic utensils.
Share them. And you can clean them.
But yeah, I share them. Yeah, it's like somebody else is about to get plastic utensils and I just get to feel
no,
wait, there is another way. And so I also have now a foldable, reusable coffee mug. That is crazy. It's made from silicone. So if you don't like the feeling of silicone as your cup, then this one may not be for you. But
there's options.
But it also has a carabiner. It can fold up and it clips, so I have a cup and a straw and utensils that all just are on my backpack all the time, and it's changed my life.
Moral of the story is get a metal straw.
Exactly, that's Sam's hack.
But that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for coming and talking about this. Hopefully a lot of people will take on the campaign, and I would love to see some changes in the environment. But thank you for listening to What's Up Asheville here on WRES 100.7 FM. See you next time, Asheville.
Thank you.
See ya.
You've been listening to What's Up Asheville, sponsored by the City of Asheville in collaboration with WRS 100.7 FM. This program will re-air every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30. Thank you for listening.